Clash of Clans podcast, episode 63. Yeah, we're back with the Clash of Clans and the fans of stands. I'm your pal, Big Boneyard. I'm here with my pal, Scott. Hey,
Boneyard.
Hello, Scott. We're here at ClashClansPodcast.com. That's WBSMT Radio Studios, talking about these Clash of Clans.
Yeah, all things.
Bleh.
We've already been talking about Clash of
We've
Clans.
been talking about it for an hour and a half.
So, yeah, we take a little break, and because we're just doing the 2 episodes, because we always have so much to talk about now.
Right,
But
so
we
last
take a break,
episode, talking
we're
about
trying not
Clan,
to
talking
talk
about Warren, talking about all kinds of new stuff.
So, Farmhouse of Kent?
Look up Kent Farmhouse. It's the farming feeder clan for the House of Zod, House of Vel. It's not a warring clan. Just go and hang out and have fun and do your thing.
Yeah, have a good time.
Zays and player want to be there.
And we'll see where it evolves to, like we talked about before. It might end up that if it gets, high in demand and, becomes more of a feeder, but it's not going to be a war clan.
If you want to, it's a spot where you can go if you're in one of the houses and you're going on vacation. And,
right.
It'll save you a spot in the family.
Or it's full, and then we need new players for the next war. We'll let people know.
It's a clan for the Kryptonian family and for fans in the stands.
Yeah.
Want to come and hang out with the crew.
Yeah.
All right. What else are we talking about today? We got a lot of shout-outs to get to this one. Let's get to them because we never do. I was like, shout-outs. Oh, that'll be the next one. So let's shout out our fans and our folks. And
why don't we talk first while I pull up.
To Joe, $10.
Yeah. If you want to donate to the podcast, go check
there's
us
a
out.
thing now. Yeah, there's a button now. Scotty set that up. So not necessary.
Let me see.
Never charge you for the podcast. We love you in the fans and stands.
That's right.
And if you love us back, we need a new microphone.
It's fun. It's a great. Okay, so I always take pictures of these. I gotta just. I know I talk about it all the time, but I'm gonna be doing this from this war that we were just in. Taco guy with no walls.
It's still
no walls.
Was he Town Hall 8 now? No walls?
And we got a new guy in the clan, the Hamburglar. Just joined today. He also has no walls. He was inspired by Taco.
Okay.
But man, I love
the Hamburglar. That's a good name.
It's my favorite. One of my favorite parts of the wars is when people attack Taco because
they have no idea.
Walls.
They got no idea what's going to happen.
They're cocky. Yeah. They go in thinking, "Hey, this is going to happen." Well, this war, he got attacked, and I don't know. It was, there's a shout out I got to get to. He got attacked a couple times. No stars.
That's
by people that were higher.
That person just quit the game right there. Like, oh man.
No. And so then I looked today. I got up and I was getting ready and doing stuff, and I look. Taco got attacked. Somebody rage attacked Taco. I mean, they went in with like I think he's a Town Hall 8. Mid-level, defenses and stuff like that. It's his second account. Well, they went in with like a level 10 king and a level 15 wit or archer queen or whatever, and It was like somebody was after Taco, and that was awesome. So I'm gonna put a couple
tons of spells and tons of dragons and all kinds of high level troops and just.
Well, it's funny when they walk right past him, and the king's right there. Things are overlapping, and it's just like it's always like super fun to watch. So that's a shout out. And so I always take pictures of things that happen in the chat. So I just got to pull those up and get at them while I'm going. Sir Batavis, big shout out. His base took 9 attacks.
Oh, what level of Town Hall?
He's a Town Hall 9.
Okay.
In the one war.
Do you have a picture of the base?
No, I don't on me. I could go to it, but it's just a real symmetrical base. It did really well, and. He took all these attacks, and that was during the really tough war that we had.
Was it like a lot of traps, like brilliantly placed, and just generally it was a tough battle to win? Does it look easy, but it's tough,
let me pull it up here in a second. He said, I got attacked 8 times, 5 failed, and the best was 2 stars. So people were getting 2s against him, but they couldn't get that 3rd star. And that was 10% of their attacks. When you've got 100 attacks in a war.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or
9 attacks to get nothing? Yeah, that's...
No, they got 2, but they kept trying to get that 1.
Oh.
When the war was...
Oh, they just couldn't get 3.
And there was easier stars to get, too. But, they wanted him, I guess. And so I'm looking at.
Yeah, you know that chat is like, get that motherfucker after like 2 or 3
Yeah.
and 4, 5, 6. Yeah, God damn it. No, yeah, you go after him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking him out. It's going to be me. It's going to be me. Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and Xay's got a new base design based on, I saw somebody eat up attacks in one of our wars over and over again, and they couldn't do it. And so what I did is
Did you leave the toilet running upstairs?
I might have.
I can hear it. Right. Sorry. Bathroom. Anyway. Scotty flushes that.
Oh, yeah. So
I monster. Just slam and it sticks down.
So I got a new base
away,
design.
poop.
I got to look and see how many attacks I ate up. I'm digging
I
through
didn't
things.
get didn't get attacked. I think in my tough war I might have got attacked and they got one. Like it's a solid base. You know, I'm always in the top 3 in my clan, so even if I'm up against some tough, they're not that tough, you know.
All right.
So my player 1 gets 3-starred because it's a solid base, but people come down to get it.
Well, and I know I took at least one attack, but it's hard to tell. When you get a matchup like this and some of them that you saw, it was just like, I don't know, you know, if they're attacking, it's not really a good judge of how the base was, but I just know that they took attacks in the war and against people that could attack well. So
player 1 only got 1 star in this last war because they were idiots, fucking commies. They were attacking. I kept watching. I usually don't watch the attacks that happen against me because I'm usually watching my guys do their thing. But when it's slow and nobody's attacking, and then all of a sudden they're trying to trickle in with, their top guy, their number 5 guy attacked our number 35 guy and got 1 star. And you're like, this is hilarious, and they're using all their troops, and they're just putting them out one at a time, like assholes, like
plunk.
Plunk dead. Oh, I'm gonna put my kings out now, and then when there's 1 left, and he's almost dead. Then a healer comes flying out. Well, you could have put that down 5 minutes ago, and you're like, then they just spread out. Or this was I saw this a bunch of times. They'd take like a huge barbed swarm and circle the whole base with it. Like they would go all the way around like 3 times with barbs. But they're all going to die separately on each thing that they're that they're attacking.
You need to overwhelm a defense.
Yeah, no, and they're not even
think of like World War Z.
They did it to like all the pumps and mines that are surrounding something, and they don't even get through those because they're just hacking away at those while everything's just shooting and killing them.
Yeah,
put them all in one spot. You're gonna
well, maybe they're just going for the 50%.
No. I can't imagine how. I mean,
why would you even think? So there was that. We got a email from Zach. Said he started listening about a month ago.
What up, Zach?
And so big shout out to Zach. And I'll get you some voicemails in a little bit.
What does Zach say?
This guy.
What does Zach got to say?
He was asking about the interview, Supercell interview.
That was a while.
Which we talked about. We didn't get to, but those episodes are still coming. Like I keep saying on the podcast, but we've been putting out so many episodes, it's like hard to get to.
Yeah, we need to really get out that old stuff and make sure everything's out there. And also, we have some extravaganza.
I know somebody asked about that on Twitter, and so
where do we find after?
I'm caught up. I mean, I got
after the podcast. That never even happened. Or did we do that once?
We did it. We did it a couple times, I think.
Okay,
but yeah, so we'll get those out up on the extravaganza part of the website. But now we're current, so we're ready. Like
extravaganza,
we're staying up there. Like try to get these out right away. And so this was from 11th. This is D'Artagnan.
Oh, he's one of my guys.
Yeah, and he has his 11th account named number 11, and so he wrote in. He was talking about that. And shout out to us, Lady B and Boaz. Great job on the podcast. He said, a.k.a. D'Artagnan. He said his real name. A.k.a. number 11. A.k.a. I could go on forever here. 11 accounts. And by the way, Matt got a new account. The Phantom Warlord.
Well, I don't need to be telling people that. It's always good to have that Phantom Warlord.
No, I'm not saying all the other ones, but Phantom Warlord, what we call him on a podcast. And he also wrote in, this is why I was...
I remember when D'Artagnan, he wanted to have his own 10-member clan of all of his own accounts. He was talking about that on the chat. about that's why he had 10, and he's like, oh no, I'm gonna have to make another one just so I can be in here and I'll have my own 10 clan account. I'm like, oh, I bet you the chat is fucking dead in there. He's like, yeah, and he's like, except for that one guy, I fucking hate that guy. Huh? He's like, yeah, number 7, he's such a dick.
So finally got caught up in the podcast. Started from episode 1. One thing I noticed: there's been no mention of BlueStacks. I hear you both mention playing Clash on your tablets and your iPhones, but zero talk about BlueStacks. I can play all 12 of my accounts. So he got another account on his before he play all 12 of my accounts on my Android phone, but I enjoy the game much more on my PC with a 32-inch monitor. And the attached photo. Might I suggest you mention it on the podcast so other fans in the stands might discover it and find it more enjoyable than their teeny tiny itty bitty phones.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering,
postage stamp.
No, I don't have any monetary interest or affiliation with BlueStacks. He really likes it. Also, BlueStacks.
What is it?
It's a computer program.
Okay.
I believe for Mac or PC. But it's BlueStacks, all one word. And he sent a picture and his 12th account is Mr. Insane. Oops, there goes. I got to get my phone on silent. But he sent in a picture, and it's his thing on the computer.
Yeah.
With the account. Let's see here.
So it's just like you can click on any one of his accounts and go to it.
Yeah. So you've got This is just the right. Internet's a little bit.
This is a terrible picture.
Well, it's got to clear up. The internet's a little bit slow.
There's a focus button somewhere. You got to turn the ring, right? Turn the ring. There it is.
There we go.
Hi.
So you can see it's on the computer.
Sure.
And then this are the different.
All the different things. You just click on one, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm like, that'd be awesome for, you're sitting there and.
I don't know how, I don't know any other way to make a 10 fucking person clan. I mean, there would
yeah.
Could you imagine have to like logging off your game center every time you needed to donate troops to every single one of them?
That's what I had to do for these last 2 wars. And part of the reason with, Scotty or Xace during the wars is like if I'm away from home, I'll be on I'd switch over on the phone. So it just is. Oh yeah.
No. If I'm gonna be away from my Wi-Fi, then I'm not gonna do anything. I gotta switch over. I'll be on my phone with Player One doing stuff.
Let's see. We got. I'm going through. Let's see here. Let's see. You know what? Hey guys.
Come on now, Scotty.
I'm trying Sorry, I'm trying to pull up these emails here, and it's okay. So, every listener from the Exus clan probably listened from episode 48 to current. When I listened to episode 61 recently, the topic came up about when upgrading town halls. What is the best way to approach placing unlocked items and/or upgrading existing items that were maxed out at the previous town hall? The idea came up that it was a smart place under construction items in certain places because they will attract certain attackers. The reason I'm wondering is because recently I added an air defense to my second account just prior to battle stage during a war. If I remember correctly, the war map then showed it as something that could be added under the edit mode, still during war prep. Of course, I look like an idiot because I was building it outside of the central base, but during the war replays, it showed as a live defense that could actually be used.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it much, but it might be something worth looking to discuss.
As soon as you buy a new...
S.E. Meyer 187.
Okay.
Clan X.
As soon as you buy a new, if it's new, when you go up a town hall and you buy a new defense, it immediately is level 1 working on your war map.
And so when you go into village edit mode, it'll be in the inventory.
Yeah, it'll be at the bottom.
It doesn't automatically.
When you go, when your new war map, the new war pops up, you go your war village edit mode will have a little 1 over it or whatever number, however the new stuff. So it makes you go in there and do it. And you got to actually add it to the base and then put it somewhere. But it's a workable defense.
Which I actually
nice.
Didn't realize that until I just did my Tesla. And I thought, well, I better get these things done before the war. I had no idea that if I just put something to upgrade before a war started, that it would be working. So, so you got to pay.
You mean a new thing,
right? So I got a new Tesla.
Yeah.
I had upgraded everything before, and maybe been in the wars, but the upgrade times were so fast but when you've got a day-long thing and you're looking at what to upgrade before the war starts, and you've got to, should I do some more?
Right.
Yeah, should I do some more, walls, or should I do this or that? Well, no. If you start your big upgrade, and that's an awesome benefit, and actually it's a great reminder because when I do go to Town Hall 8, it's a good thing to get everything on the board right away, even if it's at the start of a war, and go in that order because start it right beforehand. If you can just push it to that thing instead of maxing something else out because of the placement of buildings or
getting it in there and getting it done. Yep.
Yeah, if it functions right away, that's awesome. So
as far as placing the stuff, like I just put it out basically wherever it lands. I guess we're talking about with Player One because I haven't had any new things with Boneyard in fucking, I don't know, a year. So Player One, I get the stuff out there, and then my war base is pretty tight in Player One. As tight as it can be. All the corners are corner walls are up and everything's compartmentalized, and then I got it ringed with everything. There's nothing in the corners. Stop doing that. Even though it takes time for like a dragon to run over to a corner and kill a builder hut, it's a real easy way to draw troops out for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can drop a bar back there, and once you get the clan castle troops out, they'll run all the way over to the corner because there's a guy shooting at a builder hut. So I stopped doing that because I use that technique a lot. And then I always remember to bring in at least 4 barbs so I can drop one in each corner if I need to, with the guy that I'm going after in war.
Yeah, and I've been doing like the go wee attacks because I would love to do Velks and P.E.K.K.A.s. I'd love to send them in together with my P.E.K.K.A.s. The only only troop that's not maxed out yet is at level 2 out of 5 for the level. So I would love to be doing P.E.K.K.A.s, Valk attacks. I think that's something else. So I've been doing like the witches with the wizards and the golems, the go wee, and using a jump spell to get those golems in the second thing because you can count on them more than wall breakers, and it's been pretty cool. I did a couple big 3 stars on a Town Hall 9, but a couple that I got really lucky at. So it has been okay, and so it's been pretty cool. So I think that is all of the emails for right now. So what else is new, Boneyard? Is Zod's War done now?
Yeah, we beat them. We beat them up pretty good. We're done for the weekend.
Okay.
138 to 40 or whatever it was because they're freaking stupid commies, communistas. What a dumb name. And then I said this last episode. We beat them up so bad that 11 of their members quit. And at first it was like the first time I saw it was 10, and then there was one more at the end of the war. That didn't work. So I think Player One might have to go over there and laugh at them, see if I can get in there and laugh at them a little bit.
Are you really going to go rub it in their face?
Yeah, a little bit. Or maybe I actually just quit. I just quit. So.
Oh, you left. Okay, so Player One is headed to. I just left
Zod. I'm just going to go over to Kent Farmhouse.
Farmhouse. We are 2 hours left. It is 1:11 to 57. And it has been an interesting. You got started
late. What time is it? 7?
Yeah, we went a little bit later. We were waiting.
Here's the thing that my clan was real happy about. We started early. I was like, I'm just going to start it, and I started it at like 4 on Sunday, and then the next battle was started at like 5, and I actually was out for dinner with my mom for her birthday. We went to Ginucci's, the Italian market in West Duluth. Have you been there?
No.
Oh my God, it's the best Italian food in like 200 miles.
Oh really?
Oh my God, and it's got a bunch of good, awesome food to buy, like meats and cheeses, and then the pepperoncini, and the gabagool, and the capolone pini, molto bene. It's a spicy meatball. Let me tell you something. Their food is fucking phenomenal. Guy Fieri from Diners and Drive-Ins and Whatnots, he went in there. They actually told him no 3 times because they didn't want the headache of having this guy come to their restaurant because they were doing just fine without him, Wow. And or they needed to clean the kitchen or something. But we went in there for a couple of hot sandwiches to go, me and Lady B, And I realized they were selling frozen pizzas, so we ate that thing at after about 1 million Bud Lights later on that night. But oh my god! And then lasagna is just to die for. It's just fantastic food. Yeah, Genucci's or Ganucci's or Ganucci's Italian market. Anyway,
he started them early.
Anyway, I was out for dinner, and I just told one of my co-captains there, or my captains there, to just hey, if you're on, just start the thing right away because we won by a bunch.
See, I don't know if I could do that early because it's nice to have the evening to like.
It is, but a lot of people were. Then we could war all. I don't have to wait till 10 o'clock at night to.
I suppose you could fight.
A lot of our guys want to war right away, and so they have all afternoon and evening to do so.
Yeah,
and then by the morning it's 12 hours later. So if you wake up and you can go ahead and hit anything you want. I got some guys in Scotland.
Yeah, I should ask what people thought.
I got some guys in Scotland and a couple in Australia and stuff like that where they're on at night and they do their business a lot of times when we're not around, but they work hard and are around when they can.
I'll ask my clan what they think about that.
Which is nice because there's a lot of us that are on all the time, and even though we have American hours, we're on overnight, and a couple guys work nights, so they're up and playing, and so we have action on the chat pretty much all 24/7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
we all have different hours. I guess I'm on there pretty late. You see people come and go. Do you want ready to do a voicemail, Boneyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Voicemail it up. Hello.
Let's see. Let's see if we got it working right.
This is Eagle again, and I gotta say I tried out. I went to town all night and I was raiding for Elixir, and then I heard your podcast about what was better to raid for, so I switched to raiding the gold. That works a whole lot better.
Yes.
I remember Boaz talking about looking at some gold grabs and wondering how they got so big so fast, and I can tell you all about that. That is just because people boost at night. If you boost 4 barracks at night like I do, plus your heroes and your spell factory, you can make about 2 to 3, maybe 4 million in a really good night, a couple of hours just in gold.
Wow.
Keep one builder free, do a lot of walls. If you look at my base, you'll see that. Shout out to the Cavorkians. And if they don't come out with a new Dark Troop soon, I'm going to drink a 30 bomber in a night and throw up all over the place.
Yeah, Supercell.
Boneyard, you dick.
That's he had done that before. That's what that was you on the
guy. This fucking Eagle, what a douche. You can suck a bag of dicks, motherfucker. That's not. You can either suck them one at a time, take them out of the bag one at a time, or you can take a whole bag and suck on the corner of it like a big teat. Dick-filled teeth. That's what you can do, buddy.
I think I've done like 2 million in a day, just regular rating and like without boosting. But
with Scotty?
Yeah, if you can find the downtime and people, if you can find, the times of the day too. And I think the days of the week make a difference.
Yeah.
Like Tuesday, Wednesday, it seems like it sucks.
People got to get back to real life for a little while. And
yeah, and then, but Tuesday, Wednesday, then they're like getting bored and coming back and doing their stuff. And, I got to say, at this point, like, it kind of brings up the point. What do you think? Do you have any predictions for the next update?
I don't know, man. I wanted a troop for so long and I ain't getting one. Fucking piss out of my ass. I mean, come on. Piss!
I said,
piss out my ears.
My prediction, I said to Boaz, is a level 3 witch.
Great. I mean, come on. That's okay.
Remember when the witches were awesome, though?
They still are, kind of.
No, but I mean, really awesome. Where, like, they had that huge range. Like, right when they first came out, you could send one back in the board and just...
she would send in she wouldn't be close at all. That was good.
Yeah. So, I think...
Okay, so, great. A new level of a troop we already have. Cool. She's gonna have purple robes.
Well, no, that's my prediction.
Great.
No, but it'll work against like those high level attacks.
And it'll have more little minion dudes, little skeleton dudes.
That would be my prediction.
Maybe they last longer. Or
I think that Dark Troop's got to come. I mean, it's gotta. I think it's been put up for a year, post a year.
Coming soon is what it says on everybody's Dark Troop.
We've been saying this on the podcast for how long? 6 months. Like about a new Dark Troop.
We've been talking about it since way back before they even had witches. Whoa, we've been talking about wouldn't it be cool this one, do that one, then we get something. Oh, that's cool, but then all of a sudden it's been dry.
Yeah,
Supercell.
So I tried.
And here's another thing: a new defense, maybe a new kind of defense. I don't think it's
No,
I don't think-
that would-
and here's another thing, guys. I'm running out of space. Like I need to. You know what should be new is that I can start clearing trees.
Yeah.
And make my base
like-
bigger.
Boom Beach or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's still a finite amount of room.
Right.
Which is where we're at now. But everybody all of a sudden gets 6 more squares
Yeah.
on each side or something. I mean, wow, that would be a huge difference. Or do you have to pay to cut them down? And of course, now I would just spitballing, but you can pay to cut them down. So you cut like a path going back away from your thing, and then a clearing, and then there's something back there. So it takes forever to get back there. That'd be cool, right?
Take a trip through the woods.
But of course, in other games, as you get farther away from the thing, they would be more and more expensive.
Yeah.
Like until maybe you could get 6 squares back, and then it starts costing gems or something. Who knows? But then you can spread your base out. But then of course you need more time. Boom Beach, you got 4 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. I did download Boom Beach and was playing it. I got into it a little bit, and then I'm like, there's only one builder. This is dumb. I get a ton of gems, and I'm like, I'm not even using these, and I just deleted the game.
yeah, I
Well, what I did was I deleted all of my games because, I'm glad I brought that up because I want to talk about The Simpsons. I deleted all of my games because I had a bunch of shitty games and they're all dumb, and now I have my new the Bone Pad, so my phone just has Clash of Clans, and then Word with Friends because I play that with Lady Boner and Scotty, and actually nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, and actually we don't play that much anymore. So those two, and then Minesweeper because that's fun to just poop around on,
Yeah.
So I just have 3 games on my phone, and then I'm like, new stuff is coming on the Bone Pad, and I downloaded some new apps that I wanted to try because I couldn't get them on the phone because I needed to have something better.
Yeah, with your three.
And I'm like,
3S.
okay, some of them are cool. This one that was called the Gorgus or the Goddess, Godus, and it was like a farm builder, but it was really, really cool because you could build like the levels of the earth were in tiers, and you can move them and make the land shaped in any way you wanted to. And you had like little farmers and builders, and they had to be able to climb over the mountains. They had to make clear land and trees and stuff. And it was kind of neat, but it was like, okay, I got a little ways. I made a huge farming community, and I'm like, I'm not going to wait. This is designed that I need to buy these stickers to make things move along. Like, I'm not waiting for it. Dropped it.
No 11-year-olds for you to pick up.
And yeah. And then The Simpsons was something I've been playing for longer than Clash of Clans. I started playing this right when it came out.
Ooh, I have a reward.
Probably 3 years or so.
No.
And it's a little town builder, and you get to do things, and it's funny because it's from the makers of The Simpsons, and it's original stuff, and the actual voices and things like that. But I just stopped doing it last Valentine's Day, like a year ago Valentine's Day. Like I just stopped building streets and putting a house here and the tree in front of it. Then everything just started stacking up. Like all the buildings are right next to each other, and you just collect. And you just want to go through the new storylines and see what's new when different holidays come.
That's cool.
And I just kind of like, man, I'm not doing this anymore, and I deleted it. This morning at work, Levi, my buddy, my coworker, who also does The Simpsons, he's like, "Oh, did you see the new one? Yeah, it's the Barbarians." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It took forever to load because it was tons of new content. And then he's like, "Yeah, this is the Barbarian," and it looks just like the Barbarian, like a Homer version of the Barbarian from Clash. And then it's okay, and then he's like, "Oh, you've collected all the characters," and it was only one. Clash of Clones.
That's cool.
Was what it was called. So the new saga line in The Simpsons is called Clash of Clones. A barbarian comes, he trashes Homer's house, then Homer talks him into building a castle. And now and when you go to one of your neighbors is like the computer neighbor, so it already has everything. There's like 3 different castles, and you must be raiding and doing like there's a little Clash line going on
weird.
in the Simpsons game now.
That's awesome.
And they changed the app little icon, and then the loading screen with every new thing. Halloween is scary, and different things are happening. This one there's a little barbarian Homer for the app screen, and then on the cover it's the finger because it's the tapped out finger, like it's the finger of God.
Yeah.
And then then the Simpsons family is coming at you just like the Clash of Clans. You got Homer as the
That's
barbarian
cool.
king. Marge is the wizard with a blue robe. little Lisa, it's got the archer. She's jumped up in the air, loosing an arrow
Yeah.
just like the archer, and then Bart's got a green face with a little sack of gold as a goblin.
That's cool.
And so it's a Clash of Clans thing. I'm like, okay, once this is over, then I'm going to delete this game. They're like, I want to get through
So
this
you
part.
brought everybody in.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I want to try this out. Yeah, if you download the Simpsons app right now, you start with this,
Oh, that's cool.
so you can do this. My throat.
All right, you ready for
I need some raspberry tea. This episode is brought to you by Raspberry Tea.
ready for another voicemail?
Yeah,
Okay.
hit me.
Once again, this is Eagle from the Kevorkians. Shout out Kevorkians. Anyway, I don't know if you guys ever noticed this. I've never heard you talk about it. Maybe you have, and maybe I missed it. But I was sitting on 6.8 million in gold with my TH9 a couple weeks ago, and I noticed that when a guy attacked me, I was only showing 380K in gold, and I did the math, and it's like he can only rate for 5.5%. But when you're sitting on like under 300,000, it's like this curve. Like when I'm really low, people can attack for 10 or 15%. It seems like, but when my gold's really high, they can only rate for a little bit.
Yeah.
I had to spend it all in walls because I was like, I don't want to get rated, and get hit for all this gold. But it took me about 8 months of playing the game to realize that, and I don't know if you guys have realized that, but I just figured I'd call in to let you know. Anyway, keep it clashy.
Yeah, that's because of the.
I'm glad you did not tell me to suck a dick. I never noticed that because I never have that much gold. I never have that much shit.
No, I think it's there's that loot penalty. So depending on who's rating you,
Yep.
they're going to get different amounts.
So it was a higher town hall, or I guess if it was a higher town hall, you're going to get less. That's probably it.
Well, also you've got not where you're at in trophies, but who's attacking you? Whether or not. But there's a cap, which I believe is 200K of all the storages, and so
Out of each?
no, what was it? I can't remember now.
More than 200. I mean, 400? I don't know.
No. Oh no, you can get 10. Like at Town Hall 10, you can get 10%.
Of another Town Hall 10?
It's God.
I thought it was
Why am
like
I?
a quarter?
Why am I blanking on this? This is something I know. Let me pull up the app. This is easy stuff, but you just you look at it, so you know.
Yeah, I don't know where the caps are. I guess I don't know. I always just.
Well, it's been a while since we went through them.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You got it on the wiki? Look at the dog.
Let's see.
Look at Red.
Where? The dog's laying upside down. Okay.
He's passed the fuck
This
out
little
with his
thing
foot in
came
a
up.
fireplace.
Let's see the loot bonuses. I gotta figure this out. It's been a while since we did this. Clan War Defense experience.
Oh boy, this is boring. This is bad. This is bad radio, Scotty.
Well, I'm trying to figure out all this stuff. So resources. So, anyways, we can find out what it is. 5% of the total Dark Elixir storage, up to 2,000, can be stolen by attackers. Although loot penalties may change this amount.
I just made up a joke. What's a mollusk's favorite app game?
What's that?
Clash of Clams.
I almost type that all the time in the chat. So the Dark Elixir is capped at 5%. The gold storage is escalated 20% of the gold storage in the storage, up to 198K total from all gold storages, can be stolen by attackers.
Wait a minute. So you can get 198K per storage.
No, total.
Well, doesn't seem right.
Well, no, yeah, because if you see a raid that is at let's say 400K, you know that a lot of it is in the
Pumps and Mines.
Pumps and Mines.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, what's the cap in the Pumps and Mines?
It's 75. Let me see here. Collector's Gold Mine. I think it's 75%, wasn't it? Oh, attackers can skip to 50% of the uncollected gold in your mine.
All right.
That can act as a distraction to units such as barbs and archers. I know somebody, while trophy pushing, I believe it was Matt, would let his Pumps and Mines fill up to inflate. So you don't got a lot of loot going in and you want those defensive wins in a trophy push, you would let your Pumps and Mines fill up. And so they're going to come in. So you might only have it's, you know, they can take up to 198K or 10%. So if you're under 1 million, you know, gold. So once you hit 2 million gold or 2 million elixir, you're at 10%.
Sure.
Or underneath that, they can only take 10%.
Right.
So if I'm at 1 million, it's going to be the most they could take for my storages is 100K.
Right. Okay.
So so after 2 million, then you play it a little bit smarter, you know. But if you're trophy pushing and you want people to come in and take your elixir, if you got low stuff, let your pumps and mines fill up. They're gonna see 50% of that in the total.
So you're saying you want to bait them in so that they lose.
Yeah.
Maybe just take some shit and get out.
Yeah.
But
because if you
or because you have your pumps and mines spread out everywhere, that they're just going to lose. They're not going to.
you inflate your numbers that
Yeah.
way of loot that can be taken.
I guess,
Because you've got 50% that's in your pumps and
I
mines,
guess.
or 10%. It adds up though, to
Yeah.
everything that's in your pumps and mines. So yeah, what else you got going on?
Nothing. I bought a house. I told everybody in my clan, and I'll tell everybody, all the fans in the stands, I got about a month till I close. Lady B and I are moving on up to, well, not that far.
Yeah.
But it's going to have a garage, and it's going to have a workshop in the basement, so we might have another studio.
Very nice.
Set right up.
Very nice.
I think a garage studio would be good. Might be some road noise though, so we might have to move to the basement. But yeah, so that's big. It's a big deal. Very grown up. So I've been doing that.
So what are you going to do about your clashing? It's going to be so you're going to be so busy.
I am going to be very busy, but I'm going to do my relaxing on my new deck with my new bone pad in my clan.
Yeah.
And having some fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. Oh my god, those replays that I've been watching, like people attacking, pushing themselves. You know, you see these people come in. There's a guy in the last war who didn't. Okay, I'll shout him out here because I think this is a good story. Because there's been people in the clan,
all right,
that have come into the clan.
Scotty thinks it's a good story. That's all right.
And I feel bad.
Subject
for the guy.
me to this.
No, I think it's pretty funny.
The fans in the stands out there. All right, hit me.
There's a guy who joined the clan. His name is, I believe it's Chief Droopy Nuts.
Okay.
But and I feel bad for the guy. He spelled chief wrong.
Chief?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So it's Cheif. He came
funny.
into the clan, and everybody, poor guy, first said, you spelled your name wrong. Chief spelled wrong. He's like, yeah, I know, I spelled it wrong. I pushed it, and before he realized, it's like you start the game, and of course, you're already a couple town halls into it before you even join a clan. You know what I mean?
Before anybody tells you that you spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you're not looking at your name, It's
I don't know, man. I would.
It doesn't have spell check,
Yeah, but you'd see it.
And no. And so the poor guy
guess.
comes in, he's a Town Hall 6. But he comes in and of course everybody's like,
was everybody like, "What's up, Chief?" Was it spelled wrong? Like, that's
yeah.
that's why.
Well, I call him Chief, but I spell it wrong when I'm talking to him because that's his name now.
Yeah.
But big shout out. But he went into this last battle, and I think it's kind of part of the clan stuff that the way we work. He didn't have the best attacks because he forgot his spells.
All right, rookie moves.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I forgot my king in one attack. Things happen.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you that those.
Now, here's a reason that you never should forget your heroes because on prep,
I thought it was ready.
on prep day you put them to sleep, so
Right.
they are ready.
Well, no,
right?
it's from the last
But you're
attack.
talking about between two attacks.
But I thought I was waiting for it, and then I went in. But everybody makes mistakes.
and it was ready
but-
when you came out. It was that close.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was done. But
Yeah.
then you get into those attacks, and then
But now he's just sleeping. Like he
especially
should.
now, people are watching, and so it's like you're going in there and you're doing the attacks, and every attack is like, oh god, I don't know what's. You start doing it, and it doesn't go quite as planned, and you're adjusting. Like this attack I had today, the golem turned the wrong way, and I'm like, oh shit, how do I get him out of here? And I forget to drop my other troops behind it for a little bit, or I drop things too early,
Yeah.
or
shit
So-
happens. It's battle.
But it's kind of the point of the game where like you're at Town Hall 6, and that's the part of the game where you're really starting to get into a clan. It's pretty easy to get to Town Hall 6. Town Hall 7's where it's like plateau, and you're like there for a long
Yeah,
time.
well, you
and,
should stay there. Yeah.
or
So what happened to Droopy Nuts?
so he went
Chief.
in and no, I was just saying about he didn't have that great of attacks, but you're going to learn, and that's the thing. It's like
Yeah, well, that's part of that's what we do in Zada. If you don't attack well, we talk about it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you about it, and the next one will be better.
And another strategy I've been using with
If
that
you don't communicate, you're out because
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah, ask for
you obviously
advice.
don't care, so find another
in
clan.
any clan you're in, it's like strategize, because today there was an attack I was going to do, and I strategized with the people there in L, and it started to get too complicated, and I thought about this, and I had this other thing, and I was just basically like, you know what, this isn't the attack for me, and we figured out who else would take it, because you're cleaning up stars.
Sure.
And I went lower, and then the attack worked. But I had my stuff ready to go, and then you're looking at it more closely. But everybody should be doing that, because then you're also in
Well,
the
you
chat.
got 2 attacks for 24 hours. You might as well study your shit instead of dumping it all in the
Yeah.
first hour, and pissing me off.
Well, and that's why I go in and I
Well,
look.
I love it when it's 20 minutes in and we're up 30 points, and we've got 10 flawless attacks.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
nice.
shit.
Yeah.
Or like one time, a couple of battles ago, where everybody's just raring to go against this ridiculously easy matchup, and this is several weeks ago. Everybody was just so jazzed up at war start that we were up like it was like 21 stars to nothing because they didn't even start yet. But it was like first 5 minutes, it was like 21 stars, but it was only like 3 attacks. Because so many people were attacking at the same time that had like 1 or 2 stars that it counts as stars, but they weren't done attacking, so there was only like 3 attacks for like, oh, everybody got 7 stars, and you're like, oh, look at this, and then boom, 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 30 stars, 10 attacks.
Nice. Yeah.
And then we always do the first person that gets us 2-star. You're like, oh, you burnt, you motherfucker. You ruined our streak.
It gets there to be a lot of
Good
pressure,
effort, yeah.
because you're like, oh crap, and everybody's like, good job, you're watching attacks. We had people just launch out of the gate at these people, and even I went earlier than I normally would, because like, you know what, we know we've pretty much got this.
Well, and that's the thing is that player 1, I wanted to get out there. We're doing it where you have to attack your number. But if you're doing it anything else where, oh, I could attack this, I could, you're moving up and down, like a scout over and down, that kind of thing we used to do. And it's still kind of the same.
Yeah.
But you get over, if you know you got it, get it done.
Right.
So that it's not somebody else is going to go and try it and 2-star it. Get it out of the way.
Well, somebody said,
If it's your number and you can do it quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
And let cleanup happen
because
elsewhere.
then people know where to go after that,
Yeah.
and that's why we want our lower guys to always go within at least the first 12 hours, so that we know if we're hanging back and we need time. And now it's like, as you build that team, I'm kind of trusting people to where they're going. And people, I don't sit there and say, no, you can't go, or you can't go. And the people that can go for where they need.
Yeah. Some people ask, hey, I already have, where should I take this attack? My attack was taken.
Yeah. And you know what? I've asked people to go low a couple times, and then at the end we're gambling, and it's
Well,
like,
it depends on the matchup.
yeah,
If it's tough,
it just depends on the time.
if it's tough, if it's not, go high and get 1 for loot. You'll get at least 1 for loot, but try for the 2 or the 3 on something that's you normally wouldn't really try for.
Well, and
when
you
you're
want
raiding.
people to go. Well, and that's so. My point was to say,
Chief
if you
Jupinus
go
did what?
across.
So what? That was
No,
the story.
I'm talking about like now. I'm talking about if you're within 5, look at not necessarily going 5 below, and that's why that's the new rule in L, is because I said to somebody who asked, he goes, I can't do my number. The next one I can do is this far down, because he's using dragons, I think it was.
Right.
And I said, how about up? And he looked up 2 above him, and they had weak air defenses.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like, if you
Find the one that's good
Yeah.
for you. Go high as you can.
I think
to get your 3.
I think it's about town hall level, really. If you look at, if you can get across within a town hall
sometimes,
level.
yeah. Sometimes, there's the guy at the Town Hall 7 going out to Town Hall 8 where you're like, I am overpowered. Well, okay, you're going to do cleanup on 2 Town Hall 7s. Or even a Town Hall 6, you're going to go lower. That's doable, but you're going to wait to let those people have a chance at theirs. You don't go for an easier one without letting the person have a chance at it, especially if it's easy.
Yeah.
Like one of my guys is like, hey, is it okay if I go down 5? I'm like, no. Does anybody have a problem if I go down 5? Yes, I have a problem with that. Go after what's wrong with 31.
Right.
And then like a little bit later, like, what about if I go up 2? And basically they were just going for an easier one. It wasn't because it was they used a certain army, it was because it was just easier to do. The clan castle was outside. You know, it was just it was just a shittier base setup. I'm like, no, just do your own. You know, go for your own, and then you can go for that one later once that guy has a chance to go for it.
Yeah,
you know, just because you're going up, you don't get to go early.
Yeah, well, and that's why, like, in our clan now that we've got people who have been attacking and, you know, consistent, who've been there for a while.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me if they go up and they want to go up right away and get stars. That's okay, because
Get Up Kids he's good for 6 stars. He's probably good for you know, out of the last 10 wars, that would be 60 stars. He's probably got 50 out of 10.
Well, where are you running at in town halls? Are you hitting?
Or maybe 55 even. Like, the guy is crazy. He can almost do it. I just let him do whatever he wants. He's one of my captains.
Yeah. There's a few people, I think of, like, Sister Pringle, Jesse, Unique Name, and I'm sorry, everybody, that I'm forgetting certain people. RG Baseball did this, you know, just looking around and, you know, that can push it, and certain people could just hit things with attacks. Yeah. You know, like, I think of Unique Name and Jesse and Sister Pringle. She's a Town Hall 10, I believe, in a different account, in her first account. And,
she was in Zod for a while.
And
she was gone for a couple of weeks or something.
They'll go up a lot. And other people are doing it too. And I'm just, you know, I'm getting to know people's attacks over time. But they'll go in and let them go up because they know how to do this dragon attack.
Yeah, or this particular board, they can nail it.
Yeah, and it's hard because you got to learn that stuff. And you get 2 war attacks.
Everybody's doing dragon attacks. That's how it is now, huh?
No, not everybody is.
A lot of us are killing it with those things.
There's some people who do it.
We get a few people in with the Goees and some stuff like that, but a lot of it's heavy dragon. And that's kind of we go through the whole list and be like, what all these air defense here. These are all dragons. Who's going to get them?
Some good hog attacks. People are kind of bringing these different armies.
I've been told I'm not allowed to use hogs anymore because that's one of the ones I lost. So, like, I just dumped a bunch of hogs in there, and the king.
You don't use hogs, do you?
I don't, not anymore. Really, I used to love them, but now they've been nerfed because I can't get the king and queen out. And I just like, okay, I'm going to send some dragons in to target that shit. And it was one of those ones where I'm just dumping mishmash of troops, and it just sucks.
But see, now I'm finding the hogs really useful with freeze when I'm farming and stuff. You know, just having 1 freeze at least, 2 preferably with heal spells, and if I keep on them, I can wipe a lot of stuff out. But yeah, you see all these different attacks, and there's probably a quarter, maybe 10 people that are really dragon heavy in the clan. But a lot of people will do just based on what they've upgraded. You know, giants, of course, and barbs and archers and wizards. But you get into the mid-range or the Town Hall 9s, and then you'll see people who use balloons and minions.
Some of my guys are all about balloons, and they don't have the maxed yet. I'm like, what? This is just... I saw one of them work, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just excruciating to watch. They're so slow, and you're like, this is this, and he drops a bunch of like
boring boy in the yard.
No. It's like a bunch of level 3 balloons, and you're like, oh no, what are you doing? And then you're watching it, and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna work. Like, it's not until the last 30 seconds you're like, this is really gonna work, because there's 2 balloons left. And they just managed to not. The only thing left is a couple of cannons and a mortar. You're like, what is going on here? And there's a bunch of, like, a couple of mid-range wizards and some archers and some barbs just kind of dicking around, cleaning stuff up. And then this slow-ass balloon, like, oh, he did get all the defenses. What is the time? I've been watching this for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is.
I've been watching this replay for 10 minutes.
You'll see like 2 dragons who almost died at the end, and then they're flying to that builder hut, and you're like,
oh god,
you bastards!
Oh my god! One of my guys, I can't remember who it was. It was.
And if you're listening in this future, there was no timer on the replay.
Yeah, right. Oh god, it's excruciating. The whole middle board gets knocked out, and it takes forever because there's dragons, and then. There's 2 builders' huts, one in each corner, and all the dragons are in the middle. What do? They all go as a group to one side, and then they go, and then I'm like, oh my god, there's no way we're going to make this. And they're flying all the way across. And it was clean up high, this one was. Like, there was one star, and you needed to get to 2 more, and that thing was flying all the way across as slow as can be.
Yeah.
I finally burnt it out with like 3 seconds left. I checked it afterwards on the replay.
God.
Oh god, it was just, like
See, and it would be much more fun to watch if you had the clock, because you'd be going, "Oh my God, go, go, go!"
I don't know. I think it's more fun without
do?
it because it's just you don't know.
Oh,
and
see,
you're like,
it's just like
oh my
watching the
God.
clock. It's like when you're in the attacks and you're like, it's winding down to see like 12 seconds. Because, you know, you start to get there and you're going, oh, I'm pretty confident he's going to get this. Going to get this. God, is the time going on? But if I would have seen 15 seconds and then just waiting to, I'd be like drawn out.
Basically, the dragon got the one fire breath out and killed the built.
And you don't know if it's
probably couldn't have done it. Probably couldn't have got a full second breath out.
Right.
You know.
Or you're like, you watch them and you go, the dragon starts to blow, and then it goes, the screen comes up, and you're like, is that a 3rd star, or is it, did the clock just run out,
right.
you know? Because
it's tough.
Oh my God, yeah. So, and you have a lot of dragon attacks?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of them. I've been handing them out. They're great for CCs. I had to do a lot of hogs too, because especially the lower guys, those hogs go in and you put them in the right spot and they take out
a mortar
and a whiz, and you can even heal them because you got some giants going in. One guy was like, I think I'm about sending in some hogs lower left, and then giants with a healer. I'm using heal spells on the hogs, and the giants with the healer on the upper right. And I was like, dude, put them all in at the same spot, because you're going to trip all whatever traps you trip are going to happen right away. And then, so you send in the giants, let them get in there, send the healer after the giants. And as the giants move in and move away, there's some wizards and barbs happening because they've cleared the CC. And then you send in all the hogs behind the giants, and then they pass the giants, and they just run right into the middle or even the far side and start hitting shit. And then you heal them out there while the giants are cleaning up inside and trying to get over there. And and it worked. It worked. It was just a beautiful attack. 3 stars, boom.
Yeah, it's like you gotta. I'm always like try to get those mortars. The dragon attacks. Like I notice people do a bunch of different techniques, and some work really well for some people. And I like
the second wave.
The second wave. I saw Sasquatch do that, and other people have done it. But I just remember that being the first time I really. I saw let him burn. You release them kind of in a line,
and they never go towards the middle. They always go something around.
They make all their mistakes, and then as soon as there's always that line. So as soon as the nearest thing is like the one place that you want them to go that they didn't.
The first round of dragons always split up and don't go to the middle around the clan castle or the town hall. They always go out and around, but then they leave that town hall alone.
Yeah,
and you send in 4 more drags right up the butt. And,
and if you can send them
and then
in,
drop a rage right in the middle of that, and then they'll just rage their way right to the end of the board.
Yeah, and if you can send them in at the right time, so that way, don't wait for those dragons to be dead. When they're getting to that place where they're running out of steam and getting hit, send the other ones in, so that way you've got a little bit of protection with those drags.
And a fresh row of dragons to finish off whatever's left. Yep.
I like that attack, but I've seen people. I'm thinking of like, depending on the camp and the setup. Do a bunch of dragons in one spot and fan out, and so that's the thing is you got to watch the replays on those because people do it different,
and it's all about the base.
Yeah, and it's all about the base.
A lot of the bases are the same, so you can talk about this is the best dragon attack for this kind of base, but bases are different. You can come across a base that's you're like, oh my god, I can drop a dragon one dragon here, and he's going to do the entire outside.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to drop the rest of the dragons once he moves away, and then they're going to go right in the middle.
Right.
That's sometimes that works.
And I'll see people bring in with dragon attacks like a few minions, to clean things up because you want to
balloons and shit like that too. One of my guys came in. He's like, I'm going to go up higher and clean this up. I'm like, yeah, go for it. And he did. I loved watching it. Me and one other guy were watching it, and the other guy was a way down, like my second guy, so he's never seen this before. All max balloons and minions, full double air swarm. Like I used to use way back when, and it just wiped the map clean of everything. It was just all rage.
Why don't you get back to your balloon minions?
I might have to. That was awesome. Like it was really fun to watch, and
because
they take forever to make.
Don't you think you should be attacking just for fun, making your?
I don't have the elixir to do it.
Well, you know what I did in the war was I kept one barrack going with war troops. and then I'd go in attack, and go to attack, and like I was doing wizards, and so I maybe had a few pile up, but I'd be donating between, and or if you're doing drags for people, you have one thing going drags, and then
well, see when we start, I want to have
when the war starts.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
need to have a full complement, and usually what I do is I have dragons in the queue lined up done, because they take up so many spots that you might as well have those done because it takes so long. So that like I have a full army, and then I have another 100 troops or 80 troops because it's 4 dragons already done.
yeah,
They're ready to go. As soon as I drop something, they'll pop out.
yeah.
And I'm loaded, ready to go to drop shit on people.
I like your idea that you said earlier. It made me think of that I could go in with Xace and just attack right away, get my 2 attacks right out of the gate, or go in like 2 hours, or no, go in, and then within 12 hours go back to farming. Because during those war days, when I'm sitting there with Scotty and and I'm training the troops and I don't have a lot of time to raid, and it does take longer because I've got the war troops brewing too, I could be over with Xace just hitting a raid. If I get him in within the first 6 hours, of the war, and just I could switch back. But I suppose I can leave and come back.
Yeah, you can leave, come back, and do an attack at the end of the war.
Yeah. And I can do that once war day starts.
Yep.
So prep day, I can.
As soon as prep day starts, you can then leave and then come back at the end of war, 48 hours later or whatever. 47 hours later, and get 2 battles in.
I'll do that with Xace, because that's part of the
Yeah, player 1 isn't donating to wars. He doesn't have troops for that.
Right. So I could go in, and I don't want everybody in the clan to be doing that.
The problem is with Zod.
But I'm just saying to be in the farming clan too, and kind of be
with Zod, I would lose my spot. Like it was kind of and that's why I'm pulling.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I'm pulling player 1 out, because one more.
I suppose
spot,
you can't come because it's not saving your spot.
Yeah. You'd have to make sure you stay at 49 or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell everybody that, or kick somebody out for a little while so you can get your battles in. They can come back. That's more,
I suppose
it's more. It's kind of a
now
headache,
with Kent Farmhouse, you can kind of have that little bit of flexibility. Be like, hey, can you go over to Kent Farmhouse for a little bit, or I'll invite you back? And
that's usually what I do. Who's on right now? You got to leave. I'm going to invite you back, and when I'm done doing what I'm doing, usually it's because I need to switch Boneyard and player 1 or something like that.
And I was having a problem getting back to Minnesota Nights that day, because I was having a problem getting Scotty, and we were filled, and I was just
I did the same thing, and I was like, who's on right now? You have to leave. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I'll invite you back in 15 minutes. I just need to switch these around, and then you're back.
Yeah.
Okay. There's whatever you say, General. Okay. and they're back. I'm not going to screw them or anything.
Right.
But
it's been fun with. I keep saying it, but those live replays.
A lot of fun watching my crew do their business, because they just wreck it. It's awesome.
I should really have. I need a second TV in the living room, because then you could have it airplaying onto one TV, and watching the replays as they go, and have the ones on, and oh god, it's fun. But you learn so much too, So I would say, like, biggest recommendation, if you're a Town Hall 6 chief, I guess this is kind of overall point. Watch your replays. You'll learn. You'll be There's a bunch of people in the clan who, when they first started, weren't attacking that great. I'm not attacking that great sometimes. Yeah. But you learn every time, and you start to get strengthened. So yeah.
Communicate, watch the replays, but mostly just talk to people in the clan. Yeah. Everybody, there's plenty of people around to help you.
Yeah. And so I think we're getting close to an hour. Anything new? I've been contemplating co-leader stuff. There's some... there was a nomination that went out, and so
my 3 guys are gold. We don't.
Well, I just lost Mailman.
Yeah.
As a co-leader. Town Hall 10.
I made it 3. I had 2, and then I was like, I need a third. That way, if I'm not around, there's 3 of them, and they can vote. If there's something needs to happen, the 3 of them can settle it. 2 votes does it. You know what I mean? If I'm not around for whatever reason, when something happens or whatever, then they need something serious to happen. They can handle
that's a good way to do it.
It's the triumvirate.
Yeah, that's a good way to But I think a lot of people come on,
and most everybody in the clan knows
Yeah.
the way I want it run, so they're all saying the same thing. This is the way. Why are you dropping down? This and that.
Yeah.
Who's Warren?
and I tend to give people the
And
benefit.
somebody, I don't know who it was. We didn't find out who it was, but they put a bunch of level 3 archers in all the war camps, like close to the last day. And I was like, I need to fucking put witches in here, and they're all filled up now with these stupid archers. Like, come on.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then I couldn't get a hold of people to get them to dump them. They just showed up on war day, and they're like, "Oh, what the hell?" I'm like, "Where the fuck were you?"
Yeah,
But-
that's the thing. Check your war castles because that happened. But
But
people,
we put out 2 mails to people, and then some people still didn't log on.
it was probably somebody new because some people are trying to help out.
That's totally what it was. It was, and I know it was one of several people because there was only a couple of people that were new.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it's like it just people knew they want to help, and then it's like, and I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, at certain places if they've donated
right, yeah,
and
yeah.
like because if you miss an attack, sometimes it happens.
Somebody was on the thing. I think maybe it was Brain. Was talking about how we had talked about percentage of donated and received is a thing that because in his other clan they would kick out if you're negative. You're like, well, how the fuck can everybody be positive? It's impossible. You can't give more than you receive. Everybody can't give more than they've received because where's all those given troops going? It's got to go to somebody.
Yeah,
They could all be even, but they couldn't. They'd all be right on the same because it's a finite number of troops that are moving back and forth. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Unless
I'm trying to think about the ways.
unless somebody gets a bunch of them and then leaves the clan, they would if you were in the same 50 people for a week.
Yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't have all positives because then somebody's got to have a negative because they're getting the troops.
yeah, and I've thought about that with membership too, about looking at donations just to be like, oh, how active are you? And
it comes up a little bit when people are on the fence about whether or not they're going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
I look on there and
that's true.
you've gotten 40 troops because you've warred twice, and that's all the troops that you've gotten, and you haven't given any. That doesn't look so good.
Right, and
You know.
because there's people that want to be there.
Yeah,
and
right. Other people want to come and play.
Yeah, and so it's like there's been somebody who didn't use their second attack, and then there's no troops donated, like you said, or it's 40, and you're like, look, you do your war attacks, all right. I mean, you do good, but people want to be involved in, and it's like
Active and chatting and part of the clan and
Yeah.
in its fullness.
and I hate rejecting somebody who wants to be there, and
we got to do it
you
when
know.
we're full all the time. You're like, I wish I could say something when I reject.
yeah, and
But people are like, I don't understand. Some people are like, hey, I know you're full. If you got room if you kick somebody, get me in there, invite me, okay. Or hey, I just want to say hi. I know you're full. But when people go, hey, I want to join your clan, I'm a fan of the podcast. And I'm like, I'm full, right? I mean, you can see that when you join.
yeah, and then you have the only button you can push is reject,
Yeah,
and you're like,
rejected by bone. You're like, dick.
yeah. So yeah, so I've been kicking a few people here and there.
It doesn't happen
It just
often.
has to be the attacks, and
Yeah.
so that's why Farmhouse Candle will be awesome. So you should check it out if you want to get involved and hang out. We won't be warring over there. Matt's running it, so
I'll be over there, player one, doing a lot of raiding there.
yeah,
And it was fun raiding while I was in with Boneyard because I was giving myself dragons and hogs constantly, and 4 hogs is just a huge benefit when you're raiding at Town Hall 7.
yeah,
4 max hogs is just it's a goal. It's a great little hit squad to get them in there and knock out some shit. Yeah, it works out great.
Cool.
And sometimes I won't even use them because even if it's almost like it's.
You won't overkill some.
There's no such thing as overkill in war. We ran into this war like, oh, that was a little overkill. I'm like, there's no overkill in war. It's just making certain.
Yeah,
You don't. Yeah, it's not overkill.
yeah. It's actually kind of fun. We've got a
just
bunch
kill.
of troops at the end.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I dominated that one.
Yeah, a whole bunch of dragons and stuff still flying around. You're like, yeah, good.
Yeah, this one I thought I knew I had 2 at one point, but I thought, is this going to be a 3rd star? It was against a Town Hall 9, but I was weeing all over it, and they all at the end, like most of the troops were just hanging on, and they were all wiping around the outside. I'd got the Town Hall and stuff, but it was like, oh, just a couple missteps, and something could go, but then it ends up wiping out a little bit.
Right.
You're like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Okay, hopefully there's no big bombs from here to that pump, because I'm dead.
Oh god, it only got one of the wizards.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. So, well, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we're at an hour here. All right. Well, that's all things Clash Clans here at ClashClansPodcast.com. You can get a
Hopefully the next time we talk, we have some update news.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's...
Check out Clash of Clones that Simpsons tapped out.
Yeah. Sorry to the shout-outs we didn't get. Awesome. Way to go, Al, on the wars this week.
Yeah, good job, Al. Really, really sticking it out and making it happen because of some tough stuff.
Yeah.
And big up to Zod because we got to have some fun for 2 wars. Really beat up on some guys.
That's awesome.
And that's always fun. We tricked out our matchups and got to have some fun.
It was nice to not have to worry so much this war.
And making people try. Yeah, you're still getting your loot, but you can get in there and get some stars and try to get some stars for yourself.
Cool.
I want to get... Boneyard has not... He got up to like one...
Yeah, I finally got stars.
Well, I have not... I'm not up to 150. I'm at 127 because I got to like 120 immediately, and now I don't battle because I go for 1 at the top instead of going for 3 in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
You know
yeah, because you were always doing the low attacks.
Yeah, I was... Right. Well, I was...
I'm only at 120.
I don't... Yeah, because I don't... Well, I get 1 or 2 here or there, and
usually...
This war, I could have went in and got the 3rd star somewhere, but I was like, what? I'm just going to go for the loot because I need it.
I think the most I've usually gotten in a war would have been 4, but sometimes I'll only get 1 because of 2 bad attacks or...
Right.
It just is like if it goes right. This war I did 3,
player 1 got his 3 right away.
And a 2.
He got his number, and then
barely a 2.
I could have went again right away and cleaned up something, but most everything was gone by then. My next, I was number 36, and when there's 10 hours left, my my recommended target was 19 because everything else was filled up.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think like 41 was still open with 1 star that somebody went down.
That happened. I attacked for loot on this last one just because hopefully that dark elixir, if I keep pulling these things, I might be able to use my gems on the last part. But all right.
Well,
so
that's it.
That's it for us at Clash of Clans Podcast. Keep it clashy, everybody.
Get a hold of us at ClashClansPodcast at gmail.com.
Or find us at ClashofClansPodcast.com.
Strong in his mouth.
At WBSMT Radio on Twitter. And
WBSMT Radio.
If you feel like donating to the podcast, you can
that's
do it on the
thing,
website.
totally unnecessary, but we're going to keep a free podcast. This is just for incidentals and running the show. We actually have a fee to our web, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that is. Scotty's that, man. So we need to pay Scotty for running the shits. And the stupid microphone is junky.
Yeah. Well, all right.
All right. So keep it clash, everybody, and bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye. We need a better outro.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.